Welcome back, everyone, to another episode of the Quad Damage Podcast, the best FPS podcast on the planet. I am one of your co-hosts, Deadforge, and I will welcome again today Medium, High Functioning Medium over here. Okay. And of course, Robert of HyperVerse.
What's up?
And our esteemed guest, TravGuy.
Hello. I'd like
What's up,
to
Trav?
also make a shout out to Medium's microphone stand that played a beautiful guitar chord right there. That was great.
Very fitting for today's podcast, focusing around Doom Eternal and all things booming.
Yeah, yeah.
And of course, as usual, right on cue, moment of truth.
I just love the deathly silence.
Let's get booming.
Easily the
Like,
best
I
reaction.
heard
Appreciate
the
that.
echo of the soda can pop or soda bottle. Is impressive.
Yeah. It's usually it's an alcoholic beverage.
Okay.
Wait, what?
Oh
Hold
wow,
on.
he's going.
Dude, you're
Damn.
gonna leave the podcast halfway through to go take a
Drink
piss.
till you drop.
Oh Lord, you dirty ass bitch.
Very nice.
Fuck yeah. At least the mic picked that up, right?
Yeah, I'll leave that in for the people who complain about that stuff.
Yeah, that's there for the people who get tired of how academic we come off.
Yeah.
Who
Unapproachable,
says that? Who says we come off
All right,
academic?
so in more
Oh, so
serious
many
business,
people.
let's dig into the philosophical topics around System Shock and all things immersive sim.
Okay.
No, I'm just kidding.
I'm ready.
We could also talk theology with the ancient gods.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So,
that's
Trav-
true. That's true.
Trav, question. Yes, I went to go make a
Could've
cup
done
of tea earlier on, and because I'm using a Bluetooth headset, I can still hear these chumps talking even while I'm in the next room. So they're debating whether System Shock, from what I heard, with it going in and out of signal, is System Shock an immersive sim? Considering that immersive sims didn't exist at the time, so they don't
Oh,
follow
yeah.
the same
Yeah,
tropes.
it's very
Uh,
like what I was saying was that it was very much like one of the granddaddies of the perceived immersion factor that would lead to that genre that alongside Ultima Underworld predated what would come to kind of be the example of that with like System Shock 2 and Deus Ex, you know.
So, I mean, if we want to get literal and look at Warren Spector's original definition, because I was looking at this recently, so it's kind of fresh on my mind. He didn't coin the term, I want to say, until Deus Ex, which was 2000.
Yeah.
But he did say that retroactively he does consider the first System Shock to be an immersive sim. So, yeah, technically, but I also would argue that the original System Shock is a lot closer to a first-person Metroidvania almost,
Yep,
less so
yep.
than a.
That's kind of what I was
immersive sim.
saying. That the interconnected nature of it is what makes it more Metroidvania-like, because it just kind of
Yeah.
all loops together eventually. But like its overall design is very, very similar to like the original BioShock or even something like Dead
Oh, yeah.
Space, where it's more of this. Well, BioShock's a little bit more run and gun, but it has that more of a survival horror kind of feel to it. So that. And it's actually kind of funny as someone who loves Prey. I never knew, like, I knew there was inspiration there, right? Alongside Dishonored, Deus Ex, Arx Fatalis, and many other things, but holy shit, is like Prey a lot of System Shock. Like, there's a lot of System Shock in there.
I want to say that wasn't Prey 2017 like it was originally going to be called Neural Shock before Bethesda was
that
like,
was
hey,
that
call
was
it
like
Prey.
that was like a potential name that Raph like kind of had in the back of his mind, but then they kind of were like forced to use Prey for legal reasons because Bethesda didn't want to lose the rights to the
We gotta
franchise
use
slash
IP.
name. So
Has absolutely
yeah,
nothing to do with Prey.
We need your game to be attached with this game from 2006 where we
Sorry.
kill children.
there's like 4 Preys altogether that have nothing to do with each other. You got Prey 2007, a phenomenal underrated shooter. You got Prey 2017, a phenomenal underrated immersive sim. You got the movie Prey, which is a Predator movie, and then you got then there's actually the abandonware Prey game that I stumbled across on an abandonware site called Prey Extraterrestrial something, and it's like a flight sim horror game.
Oh,
like a space flight
Okay.
sim horror game, and it actually looks really interesting. I've thought about like kind of delving into it, see how it is. It's like a
Yeah.
really
They-
old PC game.
They should resurrect that bounty hunter prey game that they apparently
They
was
did.
nearly complete.
It's called High on Life, Robert.
No.
What?
No.
That game
No,
looked so off the charts good.
So-
like even if you
Yeah,
released
yeah,
it now,
yeah.
Yeah, High
it
on
looks
Life,
so
it would be so good now.
No, okay, so I'm someone who did enjoy High on Life, you know, for its ups and downs, good and bad, whatever. Like, I had a good time with it.
Yeah.
But it is eerily similar to the trailer of Prey 2 in every single way. If it wasn't like a Rick and Morty first-person Metroidvania-ish game, it would literally be Prey 2, because like it's very similar to that concept, except much lower budget and, you know, Rick and Morty. But
And
there's
the
someone
weapons
at that
won't shut up.
yeah, and that. But like there's someone at that studio who had to have like been like, "Oh, you know, that trailer for that game like looked really freaking cool," because it's too similar in like its overall like bounty hunter concept or whatever.
I don't know. I'd say it's a lot more close to like Strange World, odd what is it? Oddworld Stranger's Wrath or something.
Yeah.
Before it's anywhere near Prey.
Oddworld Abe's Odyssey.
as far as like gameplay and stuff.
No,
like
we're talking about the first-person shooter with the bounty hunter guy.
Yeah.
Remember that
right,
from like the
I was gonna
Xbox,
say, like the
PS2
PS1
generation.
Yeah, it does remind me a lot of that.
It's got
But I
nothing to do
guess
with it, right?
I guess there's really not that many bounty hunter games out there, so I guess that's kind of they all seem
Yeah.
No,
similar.
no,
to
they're
people,
adding.
maybe.
They're
Talking
finally
weaponry.
adding it. They're finally adding it to Starfield. You can do bounties now like that.
Well, yeah, I mean, I've been playing Starfield.
No, wait, maybe actually.
I've been playing Starfield quite a bit recently, and I mean that's what I play as a bounty hunter, and there's quite a bit of bounty hunting stuff there. The main thing that they're adding is just like it's like a whole quest line that costs like $7 or something.
Yeah,
Is
the
Starfield
first part of the
actually-
quest? I only read about it, but the first part of the quest, it's in the game now. You could do it, but to continue the quest, it's like $7.
It's the creation kit like add-on, which is wild. Like I don't defend or appreciate or side with that kind of shit, but I will go on a limb and say that Starfield is a genuinely good game. I mean,
I really liked Starfield.
I think it's a good game. Yeah, sure. Bethesda's going to do these weird practices because they get away with it. You know, it started with horse armor, and now we're here. So
I wasn't a PC gamer for that uproar at the time.
I mean,
so
they
I
kind
only
of
got into PC. Yeah,
horse armor and World of Warcraft kind of just like made microtransactions eventually become inevitability. So
yeah,
but that's the way the
World of
executives
Warcraft never
see
gets
it, though,
much
don't
crap
they?
about it, though.
Yeah, the executives, they see video games as an equation to movies. Or like if you've got if you're spending 2 hours in a game, you should be spending whatever the cost is of a movie ticket. So and I was thinking about it a few days ago. I was oddly enough, it was actually keeping me up at night thinking about it. And I was thinking that these games that cost that we play them for like 2 hours, they cost $3 or $4 or something on Steam. Imagine what the cost of a movie ticket is, and it's got to be the most expensive way of entertaining yourself. You spend $50 at the movie theater, you get to watch it once, but yet with games, you can play a 4-hour game for like $20, and you get to play it all of the time. So actually, when it comes to the pricing of games, we're doing okay. It's just that when you get onto the AAA space, they start really trying to fuck you over, and you can't even walk 3 yards without them trying to monetize it somehow.
You know, when it comes to watching a movie, like, I mean, I could go watch a movie, me and my fiance, for probably $30, not counting any extra stuff. Then go buy the movie when it comes out on Blu-ray or 4K for $30. So you're looking at $60. It's about the same price as if you bought a video game. If you combine like buying it to own it plus going to watch it in the theater, and then you get to watch it for the rest of your life. But
until technology moves on.
I kind of like that movie.
No, you still get to watch it as
analogy.
long as you still have an old system or something to play it.
Sorry, Trav, what were you saying?
No, it's okay. I kind of like that movie theater analogy because recently it really feels like if I'm buying a game at launch, I'm paying that extra amount just, I guess, because I want to see it before it hits store shelves. Like I want to see a movie while it's still in theaters. I want that early access, I guess, but not like the current early access where you pay $30 more and you get it a week early.
That's bullshit.
But like,
that is.
oh my god,
Isn't Star Wars Outlaws doing that? Where like you can get it.
Different tiers of it. Yeah,
I've seen like a few games in the past have done where like you could, if you pre-order the game, not any extra charge, they would give it to you for like 2 days early or something.
Yeah.
But in this case, like paying extra money to get it early is
That's
absolutely
bullshit. Call of
stupid.
Duty's doing it as well, aren't they?
Yeah, they are. But anyway, back to what Trav was.
No, it's okay. I already kind of forgot where I was going with that.
Tell you what, I'll give you just a sec to recapture, because I think the worst example I've seen of that early buy-in thing was that new Life is Strange game.
Oh,
Can you
yeah.
imagine a stranger type of game to get people early access to? It's like a straight shot narrative,
I've never played
pop-up
it.
interactive buttons type game, and it's like, what are you ahead of in that game?
Yeah. It's a weird one to have early access to.
I just looked it up. Yeah, you get the Ultimate Edition. You get it 2 weeks early.
2 weeks.
Yeah, but it's literally
that is
it's literally
blatant
like
cash
a
grab,
linear.
that is.
Yeah, it's like a
Roughly.
Yeah, I mean,
linear
they all are, but that one's
US.
especially like
point and click
not
style
even
game.
with the spirit of the game.
Yeah.
Yeah, it doesn't make any sense because it's like it's a single player point and click
Yeah.
adventure game that you could probably beat
Just
in less
there
than
in
10
case
hours.
they bite.
It's just
Isn't there a
becoming
Life is
regular
Strange?
marketing tactic.
Yeah, it's a
Yeah,
weird
it's-
marketing
it's-
tactic because it's like
scummy.
it's not gonna make you as much more money as you think it will. It's actually making less people buy it. It's not beneficial in the long run, and it just looks bad, and it looks like you don't give a shit about not only your game but the people playing your game. And then it brings me to, like, we were talking the other day about Fallen Aces and New Blood and Game Pass and all these other things, but it's like New Blood is so fucking smart when it comes to their marketing, because every time they release a game, it doesn't matter if it's a full game or if it's an early access game. I mean, not only are they very straight up with the community and everything, like during the entire process, but like they drop an episode 1 of Fallen Aces, a game that I'm assuming is around 6 hours or so. I'm on like level 3 out of 5, and I'm probably 3 hours in. And it drops at $13. The day of release, they drop it down to less than $10. So after tax, you're looking at exactly $10 for that game. And then as episode 2 and 3 come out, you get them for no extra charge. It's literally the opposite. Like, it's like two sides of an extreme spectrum, and it's the absolute opposite of what every AAA company is doing at this point. Okay, pay us extra money to play it early. Pay us do this and that. And it's like, hey, you got New Blood over here going, hey, you can have our game for like 20% less right now and get the entire game.
Proportionally
whatever.
even better,
Yeah.
because they're raising the price as they release episodes. So they're saying you buying at this $10, that's everything. Everything that comes out is now yours. Buying
so
early.
like you get that little bit of
Wink,
FOMO,
wink, wink.
but like it's only $10, so
Because it'll probably be roughly $30 to $40 when it's like full release. And honestly, it should be, because the amount of like game that's there, because I was telling them, it's a very Deus Ex Dishonored style immersive sim. So there's a lot of things you can do in one given level. And so if there was 3 episodes and you're looking at, let's just say they're roughly 6 hours each, I mean, that's almost 20 hours of game. And given indie standards and what New Blood charges for things, they're probably going to charge like $30-$40, and that's instantly a better value than every AAA game. Because
He'd even tweeted out that he.
Oh no, you go ahead. You go ahead.
I was just going to say, he even tweeted out that he'd accidentally put it up for cheaper than what it was, and just get it while it's that price. I mean, this is what Dave Oshry's MO
whether
is.
he did
really.
it by accident or not, that's still a good marketing ploy. So
he is very New Blood in general is very pro-consumer, though. You can tell it's run by gamers for gamers. Yeah,
he is the
Dave
epitome
understands
of what I always say about like marketing when it comes to like the job where I work now or any place I've ever worked before, where they just keep charging more and more and more for things, expecting people to buy the same amount or buy more. Or it's even like at a place, like if you're renting equipment or something, or you're renting this and your like competitors are charging less money for the thing and you're charging more, they're going to go there versus where you are. So if you go down even by a fraction of the amount, you're going to sell twice as much. And for some reason, these companies never like realize that. I don't understand.
It's because they're not gamers; they're businessmen. That's they're there to monetize.
Well, that wasn't
things.
necessarily towards games. That was a bunch of other things too. But you're gonna make a lot more money when something's cheaper that's marketed towards an X number of people more than if it's more expensive marketed towards less people. Yeah. So I mean, if you sit here and say, okay, this game that's 10 hours long is going to be $6 and you're marketing it well and you got let's just say on the account of a video game, you got 1,000 wish lists currently, and then let's say exactly that many people buy it because of it being such a small entry price. Even if they hate the game, they still buy it, and you're not losing as much if they return it. And then more and more and more and more and more people are going to buy it because it's cheap, and let's just say it ends up being a good game. It's still such a low level of entry, and the same is going to be the case if you drop a game at $13, reduce it down to 10. Tons of people are already going to play it because you already have a good reputation, but now twice as many people are going to play it because it's cheap and it's a good game.
Yeah. Trav,
and once they do inevitably raise the prices, they have all those great reviews. They see all these numbers, how many people are playing it, how many people have rated it positively. That anyone new coming in who just was late to the party is going to be like, oh, well, looks good. I might
they're going to be like,
$20 on that.
Hey, that's actually a pretty good game. And okay, that's still not a bad price for how much game there is, how much there is to do in the game. Whatever. So I mean, it's.
I also think that New Blood is also subsidizing a lot of it from merch sales because they've been doing really well with merchandise. Really, that's the end of that thought. I guess I thought it was
a quick little aside. I think I'm hearing an echo somewhere.
I was about to say that I can hear an echo in the background. Does somebody have a speaker up?
Not to snitch, but I see Medium's Discord thing lighting up.
Oh.
Yeah, I've seen that the whole time, but there's nothing in this. The only thing it might be is just very vague hum from the computer. So I did it last time too, and for some reason I asked y'all hearing anything? And you're like, nope.
No.
So
no, it's stopped now. It's stopped.
I still can't hear it, but it might be. No, it's gone now. I think. I don't know.
Yeah, it's gone.
It's weird.
Okay. This is a ghost in the system. So using it as a segue, how much do you think Doom: The Dark Ages is going? You think it's going to go up to 70, or they're going to stick with 60?
Oh, absolutely. There's
because it's Bethesda, right?
Bethesda ZeniMax doesn't follow trends and charge 70 for this game. We're going to get the $70 base game, $80, $90 special edition.
Would you pay it?
Yeah. I try to practice what I preach, but also, Doom's special to me. I make exceptions.
Yes, yeah.
I bought the collector's edition for Eternal that came with the helmet, which
you had it in your video. Yes. Apparently it was difficult to breathe in there.
It barely fits my fat head. I'm assuming I can swear out here, right? Like I could say
swear like a trooper.
It's fucking crazy.
Fuck balls, ass, dick.
I was saying to the guys before, I was so hyped for Doom Eternal. The only games that I ever purchased at full cost are on Steam. Doom Eternal was the only one on a major, platform, this being Xbox, that I had purchased it. And the same with, I got the year one because I wanted the Ancient Gods. And if I knew what I was in for with the Ancient Gods, good lord, I beat that on Stadia, which is a game streaming service.
Nice.
What the hell?
And I kid you not, it ran as smooth as if I was playing on an actual Xbox.
I got YouTube just sent me a Stadia for free a few months before they shut it down. I think they were just eager to get people to try it. They had a sale going on. I bought all the Doom games on it, played half of Eternal on it, and was kind of surprised at how well it worked.
As a piece of technology, it was great, and luckily when they shut down, they did refund everyone for all the games. I got mine. Yeah, I was very surprised. Yeah, which was really decent. I did download all of my saves. And I thought maybe I can transfer it across to PC, and ended up forgetting about it. Mainly because I bought the Serious Sam collection on Stadia, and I wanted to rebuy it and play it because we're Serious Sam fans here. I will mention Stadia a lot, and Deadforge will mention Prey a lot. We should have a sewer counter for the Prey, Prey counter.
And we're not going to dive into it, but I'm going to do it just to bug Medium. We also sometimes talk about VR.
Okay.
I was going to say, y'all are forgetting one major ingredient here. I'm surprised.
Some things to say about
Don't forget it the other day.
I think I have less to say about Serious Sam. I've only played so I bought the collection because it goes on the whole freaking thing goes on sale for $10.
Yeah.
So I picked that up. I played all the way through the HD of Serious Sam First Encounter. Played a bit of Second Encounter, and that's it. I haven't played.
Yeah,
Second Encounter is the best one.
I've only ever beat one Serious Sam game, and that's actually Siberian Mayhem. I have never finished any of the
I've heard
other
good things
games.
about Siberian Mayhem.
Yeah, Siberian Mayhem's like
Yeah.
the closest to like old school Serious Sam that they've had in a long
It
time.
is, yeah. The fourth one one
I did
was,
play a bit of
it
4.
wasn't it.
Yeah,
I
I
did
played a
play a
little
bit
bit
of
of 4. I can tell you right now,
Yeah,
just boot up Siberian Mayhem and you'll already be hooked.
yeah.
Because
Yeah, okay.
4
I think
is
the
just
third-
not as good, but it's decent.
Yeah.
But what's
The
cool
third one
about
gets
Things
too
about
much shit,
4
but I
liked.
like it.
You can tell that they were very much trying to like hop on the Doom 2016 vibes
Yeah. Yeah, I mean,
with like
so
its upgrades and all that.
that's the crazy thing with Serious Sam. It's such a weird ass fucking series. Well, real quick first, you mentioned Serious Sam 3, and I was gonna say that is a really good Serious Sam game that you have to sit through at least a couple hours of a dog shit game to get to the good part.
Yeah.
Because
the beginning is really,
the beginning
really slow.
couple hours is extremely slow, does not feel like a Serious Sam game, and it's like really rough. But that is like the portion that was originally supposed to be Doom 4 before it even started on
I
Doom
remember
4, and which is crazy to think that like in another universe, Crow Team could have made a Doom game, but and the reason it blows my mind isn't because like they couldn't do it. It's just that like Crow Team. Okay, they can go and make what's that one game, Talos Principle? They can make something like that, which is like a super fucking cool looking, impressive ass, like good looking puzzle game. And then they got Serious Sam. Like Serious Sam is the most famous yet equally obscure FPS to ever exist on the planet. There's just as many people who know what the fuck it is as there is people who have no idea that it ever existed. It started its own entire like arena shooter genre that's more about running backwards and going around. It's like, and yet it rarely gets credit for that. And it's like batshit insane all the time. And it's always such a dog shit looking game, like 9 times out of 10, because they try to push the gore and enemy count tech to its limit.
Like, I still like that opening, you know, like that the opening of Serious Sam 4 right before it does that like bullshit thing. But like there's so many of those goddamn skeleton horses, whatever.
There's a lot of smoke and mirrors in that intro, but
Oh yeah. But
it still is impressive
really
that it doesn't just fucking burn your computer down. Yeah.
I'm worried that the going back to doing the Dark Ages, because it's moving to more open sort of areas, that it's going to have more kind of serious.
Did you especially Quake. The shots when they're using that skull gun, the skull crusher, whatever they're calling it? Did you get Serious Sam vibes from him just like kind of opening fire into like this crowd of fodder enemies?
Yeah.
I didn't get it at that part. I got it when he jumped off the ledge into the crowd, and then you saw like how wide and open it was, and then I thought this could be Serious Sam.
That how big it looks, that it's going to be a melding of Quake and Serious Sam. So it's going to be like these, it's going to be like these more wide open areas, but I don't think they're going to be quite. They're not going to be quite.
It's not like Heretic.
Well, no, I got a theory on this, right? And I mentioned it in the last one. I said that the last everyone.
Sorry, I'm
everyone
mixing it up with Hexen. I liked Heretic. I didn't care for Hexen.
Yeah.
Oddly enough,
Heretic and Hexen were essentially two different game franchises that existed in the same universe, because Heretic had a sequel as well, and then Hexen went. But what I was going to say was that everyone was like, it's Quake's time, right? Everyone thought that a new Quake game was coming, and essentially the game that they've gone and released looks like bloody Quake. You know, it could have been a new Quake game, but the last Quake game, Quake Champions, didn't do that great. So if you're a bean counter, you're thinking to yourself, we've just rebooted Wolfenstein. Doom is an absolute juggernaut, and no one's really caring about Quake right now. Which one are you going to continue? Yeah. It's going to be
the most German way I've ever heard anyone say Wolfenstein.
I'm so used to hearing.
I'm trying to pretend that I know what I'm talking about.
I watch Digital Foundry a lot, and of course they cover a lot of id games because of the game engines, and because part of the team are German. Whenever they say it, it's Wolfenstein. It's difficult to say it now because I literally just say Wolfenstein now.
Just a quick aside back to what I was saying. I think you're also right on the Heretic thing. So I think it's like Doom Eternal gives off like the whole, Captain America chainsaw shield with the more melee focus in certain areas, gives that medieval heretic vibe, combined with this very dark, brooding, world similar to Quake. And I think the gameplay is going to have, because like the kiting enemies and moving around and strafing that was popularized by Serious Sam kind of started in Quake. You kind of have to play Quake like that to some degree because it's more projectile dodging than it is in Doom or something. So I think it's going to be like semi-open arenas where it's like bigger than the arenas in Doom Eternal and bigger than, or smaller than something like Serious Sam, with those vibes of Heretic and Quake and all that. And somehow I feel like this game is going to directly connect into Quake somehow, because the Quake universe already exists in Doom because they have the portals in Doom Eternal. The gates. They're literally the slip gates from Quake. So the tech and all these things come together, which kind of goes off my little theory that like Quake is really Doom 2, is my opinion. Like, Quake is Doom 2, and Doom 2 is just a spin-off expansion that happened because they're like, well, shit, let's do something. It is a
glorified expansion.
And I mean,
it's just 30. It's a map pack.
I think Doom 1's a lot better than Doom 2, and I've said that before. I think the best thing Doom 2 does is probably the shotgun, the super shotgun.
Well,
and I think
Doom 2 was great because it
really cool
allowed other people to do better things with the new characters and demons they added. Like Plutonia was awesome, like genuinely. Yeah, it's hard, but the levels are very intelligently designed, and I think I like it more than Doom 2.
Yeah,
base Doom 2 is like it's
okay
for like 10 levels.
Your video on Plutonia convinced me to play Plutonia. I didn't even know I had it because I bought the remasters on Xbox and they come with the add-ons, and Plutonia was one of them. And for many years throughout, like, all my life, everyone's been like, Plutonia has been this unicorn. Only the best of the best ever played Plutonia. And then I'm watching it, and it was your video and it was Civi's. And then I found that I had Plutonia as part of this set, and I'm like, do I do this? I'm 43 years old. Am I actually man enough at this point to go through with this? and then I was like, fuck it, let's do this. So I played it on a controller instead of thinking, because it's on my Xbox. And it was hard as shit, but I absolutely loved it. It's not as hard as you think because, of course, we've played so many FPS games, since then that our talent for the platform has moved on. I did enjoy it far more than Doom 2. TNT, I still can't finish it. Everyone said it was shit, and I'm sorry, but it is. It's really boring.
I'm a little bit of a TNT apologist, but like only after I kind of looked into how it is, and when you see it more as like, hey, like 17 different people made 1 to 2 maps for this, and there's like no consistency between it. Here's another level. Okay, you finish that. Here's this guy's level. Oops. Here's this guy's level. And when you see it like that, I kind of found more of an appreciation for it. But looking at it as like a consistent campaign,
I saw that John Romero has officially started production on the third, like in his mind, like his canon.
Doom 2.
His canon, it's going to be his Doom 2 mod game or whatever, continuation.
It's not. Yo, Trav, you all right?
I remember it. It's on the tip of my tongue.
It's mind melding.
I lost it. I'm just thinking about Coca-Cola.
The Sigil 1 and 2 I think are really good, but even if they're not quote unquote canon, let's be honest and say that for those of us that are fans of it, our opinion about what is canon according to John Romero is more important than what is canon according to Bethesda. If John Romero, in my opinion, says that this is,
it's really trivial. Like with Doom canon, like I think that there is a Doom canon. Well, of course with the newer stuff, but like you look back, it is the same Doom guy, and then it's like, okay, well, how many adventures has he been on? God knows how many.
He's got to be like 65 now. He's been around.
Sigil 1 and 2 can't be canon. Like, whatever. He's just.
It's not like there's a lot of moving parts to keep track of. That's a lore contradiction.
Literally, the whole lore is he finds himself in a new place. He kills the demon. He wins. And I love it. That's awesome.
I think if they'd have taken out the helmet scene from Doom Eternal, The first 3 games, and as far as I'm concerned, Doom 64 is Doom 3.
Yeah.
That would have existed as its own
I got
trilogy.
Hugo to tell me that Doom 3 is its own thing. It's not considered part of the canon.
Yeah, no, yeah. What they came
it's a
down to was
reboot,
that Doom
isn't it?
3
It's-
Doom
yeah,
3
well,
is
it's
more
like
like
a
an
remake in a way.
alternate universe
Yeah, yeah.
kind of thing.
Yeah.
And if you'd have taken out the helmet scene from Doom Eternal, that could literally have been its own continuity as well, and its own universe. It doesn't have to connect. And they did it, I understand, for fan service, and who's gonna
they made
not
sure that
cheer and
now
stuff at
all
that.
of them connect except for 3. 3 is just a
Yeah.
alternate universe thing. They should do a
Yeah.
spoof one day though, where it's like
But
he goes through
Deadforge-
it. The Doom Slayer goes through a slip gate, and he ends up in Doom 3, and then he just leaves again. He runs into this, he's
This
like,
is
oh
what
hey, and then he just jumps through another slip gate.
Yeah, it's just like it's just pitch black, and he can't see anything. He just goes back the other way. He's like, "Fuck it, I can't."
But this
Okay,
means
so we
though
get the
this
flashlight as a melee weapon.
There you
put
go.
it on the shield saw, and we throw it, and finally we can see down that hallway
Yeah.
with a spinning light.
There you go.
so
You
if
just
all,
touch a little
if all
button on
this
the
is
shield,
canon,
little
if all
spotlight
this is
shield.
canon, that means that Wolfenstein is canon to the Doom universe as well,
Yes.
because it's a Blazkowicz, right? It means that Commander Keen is canon to it.
Correct.
So why not? Why not? Can you have Quake?
Yeah.
And even the
Well,
Quake,
yeah,
even the
Quake
Quake
is, for
games,
sure.
even the Quake games, even though they have different genres, there's nothing to say that the Strog universe and the Lovecraftian
yeah.
universe
They've already
can't exist
played,
within the same universe.
they've already
and then
confirmed
exist
that
within
the-
Doom.
Yeah, they
Have
already
you played
confirmed
the
that.
new Quake 2 expansion that came with the remaster?
I haven't played it yet, but I do know that it 100% confirms Quake and Quake 2 are canon
I won't
together.
say how. You should play it yourself if you want.
Yeah, I'm
if
definitely-
that's something that piques your
I've
interest.
never even played Quake 2.
It's
I still
really
need to play it.
cool though.
Yeah,
Genuinely. Like, it's
I
more
do
than
wanna
just
play
like,
it.
oh yeah, here we go. It's like they build it
Yeah.
up, and it's really
Yeah.
well done.
I played
first I've
all
heard
of
of
the
that. Cool.
Lovecraftian Quake one. Sorry, Medium.
Oh,
What did
yeah,
you say, mate?
if I had to pick between the
No, I
two,
was just saying
like
that's
Quake
cool.
1
That's the
more.
first I've heard that actively try to connect those two things.
It's
Yeah,
the
yeah.
good
I've
one,
always
yeah.
kind
It's
of
the,
thought that they
the-
should have done like a
something
Halo
of the
thing where it's
machine.
the Flood and the Covenant. That'd be pretty cool.
Everyone was talking at the same time. That sorry, Medium. What did, Medium? What did you say?
No,
I
was saying
didn't hear
that's
what
the
you said.
first I've heard that they've confirmed that. I thought it'd be really cool if they brought those together at some point and made it kind of like how Halo takes the Flood and the Covenant and has them kind of interfight with each other, kind of like
Oh,
a three-way
right.
battle. I love
Yeah,
Demons
so
and
like-
Strog.
The way my pipe dream for it has always been like Quake 1 with the Lovecraftian shub. I'm not going to say the rest of it because I don't want to get clipped.
Demonetized.
Yeah,
Dude, I had to say that name in my Alone in the Dark video. It was rough.
Yeah, it's like, hey, look, I get comments that are like, dude, it's just its name, and I'm like, first of all, have you seen what he named his cat? Second, just I'm not gonna say that so that someone could just clip it out of context, you know.
Yes. Yeah.
But also, like the way that I've always seen it is you have the Lovecraftian Quake, the being called Quake in the first one, and then you have the Strog. And the way that I've always seen it like trying to hypothesize how we could connect these is that the Strog, like they're like, oh, our flesh is weak, we need to be closer to this entity. Like it's not like it's waking them up, it's like a religious thing almost. And I feel like that's the route that they might be going after this Quake 2 expansion. I feel like they've planted the seeds for a new
I think
Quake
it
game.
makes sense.
And
didn't-
my hope is that Doom the Dark Ages. I'm sorry to cut you off. I'm really excited. I got literally 2 hours of sleep last night. So my hope here is that they're going to treat Doom the Dark Ages as the end of a trilogy, even though it's a prequel. It is thematically it's going to be the last game. It's going to end with Doomslayer getting stuck under the coffin that he wakes up from in 2016, put him right back where this trilogy started. But at some point, we're gonna see some of that influence from the Shub Demonetized, and we're gonna see that. We're gonna build it up. They're gonna use that to test the waters. Maybe we'll get a DLC expansion with Ranger from Quake.
That would be
and
fucking
then
cool as shit. Like that'd be really cool.
It would be so cool.
I said
And then
I
we're
said
gonna
that as
use
well.
that to launch off into a Quake single player game.
I think
probably made
I
by
think a
Machine
Quake
Games.
game is guaranteed after Dark Ages, 100%.
I really just want a Quake 1 inspired Lovecraftian modern shooter. And then you go crazy with the sci-fi stuff. But
And
just-
then you
I
go
wanna see them
into
take another shot at that.
but between Dark Ages and Eternal, then you go into how do you make a Quake game Like as far as
Yeah,
the
like, what do you do
gameplay
differently?
design, how do you make it more?
Do we keep glory kills?
Because we don't know how Dark Ages is going to play. So like
we didn't even see glory kills in the new trailer for Dark Ages.
Yeah.
It might
It
not even
looks
happen.
more melee combat. Yeah, it looks
Yeah.
more hand-to-hand combat. And you think
cool.
when the first shot of any action really is ripping a what's it called, a mancubus in half, and super shotguns really don't usually do that to a mancubus as powerful as. So that's intended to be a money shot to immediately get your attention.
Absolutely. I don't.
Yeah,
I
but
don't
that's
think it's gonna
also-
one shot a mancubus.
also
Yeah,
they as people
This is
seem
not
to
the
think
Doom 3 super shotgun.
Yeah.
Okay, sorry.
people seem to think that it's hinting at a potential critical system. That they kind of have a little bit in Eternal with certain things, like if you shoot the grenade.
Like the weak point system?
Yeah, like the weak point. Something similar to that, where like a critical could insta-kill an enemy or something like that if you're able to nail it perfectly.
Yeah.
I mean, if we're going to be getting these huge arenas with like 200 enemies at once, that could be a good way to balance that.
And also, like, it seems like that glory kills, because they kind of show a little bit of a glory kill in the trailer, but it's like way faster. So maybe glory kills aren't going to be this thing that takes like forever to do, like they do in Eternal or something, and it's a lot quicker, and it's not used as like the strategy is going to be different or something.
Yeah, that's
Trav,
one thing I'm really curious about. Oh, what's up?
I was going to, once you've said your point, I was going to ask your opinion on the mech and the flying dragon moments. You know, if you think that this is exciting or if it doesn't belong in a Doom game, because everyone bitched about the platforming, right, in Eternal.
Yeah.
So to me, it's
the original
it's
Doom
the
didn't even have jumping, and 2016 made the platforming tolerable.
Yeah.
I love swinging on monkey bars, dude. It's so cool.
Yeah.
Eternal
I get
just
to, like,
wanted to
grapple a
be.
dude and press space, and suddenly I'm at like the top of the arena. It's awesome.
Look, Eternal just wanted to be
I
a little bit of
enjoyed it.
Turok, a little bit of Prince of Persia. Okay.
Oh, and
Just let it
speaking
have
of
its
Turok,
moment.
did you guys see the Epic Games Store leak? New Turok game?
No.
Breaking news.
What?
I'm here live on Hyper whatever podcast. I forgot it's called.
Fuck,
Oh yeah.
God
No,
damn
so
it.
basically Epic Games Store. Okay, so if you're familiar with Steam, there's a website called like the Steam Database Archive or something like that. And it lets you see like very technical. Yeah, SteamDB. Lets you see very technical, like here's strings of betas and all that are getting updated behind the scenes, stuff we don't have access to. Here's like the technical info. Epic Games Store is something very similar, and it is not encoded very well. So some stuff just got very blatantly leaked before it got announced. Like the God of War Ragnarok PC port immediately got leaked on there. And one of the things very interesting, made by the same people that made Quake Champions, Saber Interactive, they have a listing for a new game just simply called Turok.
Right.
So
Could be a reboot, could be a remaster.
It's got to be a reboot, right? The last Turok game wasn't particularly well received, so maybe they're just kind of like, let's do. And I bet you it's because Night Dive did those remasters, and everyone loves Night Dive.
Yeah,
so they were
and
like,
a ton of work into that Turok 3.
Yeah, and Acclaim still owns Turok, though.
Acclaim?
Really?
They're still going?
Around?
Are they?
Pretty sure.
I always get Acclaim mixed up with Midway. Something to do with Mortal Kombat, I think, in the early days.
Yeah, Acclaim still owns Shadow Man and that and everything. And Night Dive did they did Shadow Man and they did Turok.
What do you think of the Thing? I thought that came very out of left field. I wouldn't immediately say, "Oh yeah, remaster the Thing," but everyone loved that game.
You're talking about the game The Thing. I was like, are you being coy? What are we talking about? What's the Thing? What Thing?
Yeah,
you know, the Thing.
Yeah.
No, it looks cool. I mean, that they're gonna do it. It looks like it's gonna be pretty interesting, and it's kind of, I think it's out of left field because it's only been like one time where they've done something that wasn't an FPS. So like everything that they've remastered is a first-person shooter except for Shadow Man, which they did a phenomenal job on that. There was also
a Blade Runner game that they did.
Oh yeah, they did the Blade Runner point-and-click adventure game. Yeah,
that's like the biggest exception I can think of.
So that Shadow Man and now this are the big.
Dude, this is so weird being on a podcast where it's like I actually know what I'm talking about. It's like able to be like, oh, I know this. Like I'm usually whenever I'm on one of these, I'm usually like, okay, I have to Google this little thing on the side. I'm like, nope, I know the knowledge for this.
Speaking of Heretic earlier on, I think that if anyone's going to remaster Heretic, it needs to be Night Dive.
Oh,
and
yeah,
I know
absolutely.
that Xbox don't probably believe in the heretic IP enough to throw 150 million at it. So maybe it's going to be, if they were to bring heretic back, it will be a AA thing, perhaps on the level of Zombie Army or something. But I think if they were to bring out a rebooted heretic Xbox accompanied with a remastered heretic for Night Dive, I think my face would just melt off, and you'd have to like sweep it up and put it back
you know,
on.
if it comes to
Surprised that we didn't get it
remastering
as a
any
uh,
FPS,
big-
it should be Night Dive.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
They've proven themselves to be. The
Now they've
kings of
even
it.
started with Quake 2 and Dark Forces, like including cut content and like archives of stuff that were not available before and stuff like that.
The thing with the Night Dive things is that their Kex engine is so adaptable, and that it can literally seem to recreate the visual look of any particular game, whether it's the build engine or whatnot. They're all built within the same engine. It's not like they rebuilt Blood.
Yeah, like in System Shock Remake, the way they did that with how like high fidelity it is. Well, it's in Unreal though. Never mind.
Yeah, that's Unreal 4. But,
yeah, but either way,
I agree though.
They did
that
like an interesting
System Shock Remake looks amazing.
Yeah, it's like high fidelity, but at the same time, they purposely also gave it a pixelation. So it's like
it has this low res look to it.
The best of both worlds.
Have any of you, speaking of Unreal, have any of you played Unreal recently?
I tried.
There's an issue that I'm
gold.
Yeah, this is what I was playing. I was playing it, and for some reason, where the crosshair is, it was shooting to the side. And I was chatting with Civi on Discord, and he was trying to give me explanation as to what potentially is the reason for it. And I was sending screenshots and stuff. But I gave up. Unreal is like a game that I think everybody wants to come back, whether it's in remastered form or reboot of the franchise.
Well, I think
and I was in the
Unreal Tournament.
See, to me the original. But that's because I'm not.
I think single player is the way to go, for the record.
Yeah.
But like whenever I'm talking to people about Unreal, they're always talking about Unreal Tournament, unless they're a Civi fan, because then they're like, "Oh, hey, I saw this video from a YouTuber. I know what that is."
Yeah.
Unreal. Is it Champions? Is that what it is, or Championship? I can't remember.
Unreal Championship. Yeah.
Is it Championship or Champions? Championship.
Championship. That's the console one, right?
Yeah, 1 and 2. Yeah,
2004 or something.
Yeah, I played both of those. I love those damn games, dude. They're good.
I've never played a single Quake multiplayer game, and I've never played a single Unreal Tournament.
Those have single player stories.
I know. The third one apparently is really shit.
But
no, what? No, okay, I'm talking about Quake Championship. I was saying that those also have stories. You were talking about, Anyway.
Yeah, dude, I tried to get into
when
Quake.
Quake Champions like first popped off back when you had to like actually buy your way into it before it was free to play. They had, oh my god, the amount of bullshit you had to collect in it was absurd. And it was like, oh yeah, for one lore scroll that gives you some info on the player, roughly give about 10 hours this week. Can you do that? Just like play a little bit. And then there's like all of these circles that have these little like circles orbited by circles. Each of those circles is an unlock, and every character has their own pages that you have to fill out. And it was so much shit. And then I don't know how they do it now. I heard it got better. I don't play it though. I mean, it's cool that Gianni is trying to bring it back, because it is a genuinely fun time. I love Champions. I had a lot
I was
of fun
gonna say he's the only one I know.
Yeah,
it's whenever I think I'd like to play Quake Champions really is the only option. In terms of the modern game that's out there.
You don't have to do the hero shooter bullshit.
Oh, I did not know that, because when Gianni tweeted he's back into Quake, and I responded, "Oh, I'll join you in there." Downloaded it, and just life got in the way and never got round to it. Within the last couple of weeks.
I understand that.
And it's because it's the barrier to entry, from what I hear, is extremely high. I don't mind getting my ass fragged, to oblivion. You've got to start somewhere, but it's like, are you really going to begin to enjoy yourself if you're constantly being taken out in 10 seconds? And I'm worried that that's going to happen,
I think he just kind of needs to be in the right headspace for it, Because my first time ever playing Team Fortress 2, it was just like that. I didn't know what I was doing. Was running out, trying to help my team, getting killed, didn't know what I was doing wrong. And then one day I just came back to it, and I'm like, oh, I get it now.
Yeah. I do like a bit of Battlefield, the multiplayer in that, but it's because I think that there's such kind of technical powerhouses, and the environments on it are exceptional. That's the only multiplayer that I've really I did enjoy, other than Call of Duty.
That's pretty much the only thing I played in recent years has been Battlefield 1.
Yeah. Have any
Battlefield
of you
1's
guys
pretty
played
good.
2042?
No.
Yeah.
I've seen the
I
bad
really-
Steam reviews.
I did try it and I did enjoy it, but I couldn't get into it, on a long-term basis. I honestly thought that it was kind of cool, to be honest, because you think of Battlefield, in my opinion, and the last two 5 and 1 were historical ones. So I quite look forward to, one set in the future. Well, and I thought it was all right, regardless of what people say.
I don't remember, like, Steam reviews are a blessing and a curse, because it's like, if a game is, more people are disliking it than liking it, that's going to be reflected in the Steam reviews. But then they're not specific on what they didn't like. They're just like, bad game, hated, fixed game. I'm like, all right, but I want to know what's wrong with it,
Yeah. It's like those people that hate Doom Eternal because it's not Doom 2016.
Dude, why do I
Yeah.
only have 24 shotgun ammo? No, I never used my chainsaw. Why do you ask?
Because
Right. I like that
Right.
one reviewer who
What
was
of
using a
armor?
plasma
No,
gun
why
on
would I use
zombies.
the flamethrower? Sorry.
Medium, what'd you say?
No, so there's one reviewer who shall remain nameless, who was nobody here, of course. It was plasma gunning zombies at one point. It was just like, this game is like, dude, you
I
not only did you do
genuinely
that,
know
you
what you're talking
volunteered
about.
to show us that. Like that was a good idea.
Yeah.
That's okay.
Yeah.
Bazookas on
Congratulations to Sulaco. Apparently, it's tweeted just before we started the podcast. They've hit 50,000 sales
Yes.
within like six days or something like that, which is
All thanks to
absolutely
the
insane.
trailer I made for them.
This is what I was going to say. I actually used some of your trailer footage in our video because I had to use mixture of trailer and my own footage. And the teddy bear, I thought the teddy bear hitting that was the funny thing. And Civi's in it, of course. What are your Trav? What's your taking your personal feelings for the game out, and that you were involved in a part of its marketing? What is your feelings on Sulaco?
Genuinely, personal game of the year contender so far.
Yeah.
I think it's incredible. I did get access to an early review build before the game came out, and then I had no time to play because I was making the trailer.
Yeah.
I got through maybe to the 3rd level. Decided, or that by that point the game came out properly. And at the top of the screen with the review build, it had a string of numbers, I believe, but then it also had a big white text review build at like the very top.
Yeah.
And I'm like, well, I don't want to look at that anymore. So I'm gonna update to the main build. But then there was some save data incompatibility, so I had to start the game over, and I had no problem doing that because it was like, I understand more of the game now at this point. I understand some of the nuances. I'm just gonna replay those first couple levels again. And now I'm past that. So I've put collectively probably like 8 hours because I spent so much time just exploring. Yeah, I should not have been taking me that long, but you find these like multimeters that can reveal secrets to you. And as soon as I figured that out, I'm like, I'm going everywhere. I'm gonna go find everything. I didn't end up finding everything. I got tired. And I'm like, okay, I need to get a move on. But yeah, like it's incredible so far. I hope it sticks the landing. I still have not finished it. But yeah, no, it's incredible. The amount of the AI is just so fun to fight. Like it always feels like they're trying to outsmart you, and then they get buffs, which is I think is so cool. Like you're fighting basically the same enemies throughout the entire game, but they're getting powered up all throughout the game. And it's like it never, at least so far, it has not gotten boring yet, fighting the same enemies over and over.
I
I
saw
keep trying to find.
you're talking about like what they sold. It just reminded me. Saw a post earlier that they were saying that the lighter merchandise, the little lighter that they're selling for Fallen Aces, has now sold more than the game.
Wow.
Like it was in a matter of
Already.
like hours that they were like, the lighter is sold more than the game now. I'm like, okay. New record.
I don't know jack shit about marketing. That's probably why my YouTube channel is still in 5-digit subscribers. But like
more than what I
whatever
got.
they're doing
mate.
over there, they're doing great.
Yeah.
Hey, you'll get there. Like for me, my shit just blew up out of nowhere. Like you just gotta pray to the algorithm.
It seems to be a story that people they do tend to say. You just kind of stick with it, and then one day something happens with one of your videos, and it just has a snowball effect.
I'm kind of seeing it right now. So like my views were dipping for like overall, like everything I uploaded not hitting quite as hard. That's fine. That's normal. But ever since Doom the Dark Ages trailer came out, I've seen like almost a 3 times bump in my viewership consistently for like the last few days. And so I'm like, oh, thank God I don't need to go back to retail.
Yeah, nobody wants that. Yeah.
I spent so long working at Party City, blowing up balloons for people. I'm not doing it again.
Well, I think the dream of doing this full time, exists for a lot of people. I know we spoke about Medium and Deadforge, and I spoke about this previously as well. That even if it just got to the point where it was covering operating costs, we'd be happy, because at least then you're getting paid to do your thing. Yeah. I bankroll HyperVerse based on my day job, which is that I run a digital marketing agency, and all of this stuff I do for HyperVerse and with you guys now is all kind of done because it's a hobby. And that's why I said I look forward to doing this, even though it's going to be midnight by the time that we finish. If we all had the option just to make this our day job, I think you'd probably never see a happier group of people. And when you do stuff that you love, it's like it comes across. It's just it's not work, We have certain guests coming up on this show that personally really hit with us and that we can't wait to speak with. It's as kind of almost sycophantic as it sounds, you were on that list as well. When you emailed me out of the blue, and you were like, is this the Quad Damage podcast that I got emailed about months ago? It's because when this first started, we had our dream list. John Romero, Dave Oshry, or G-Man Lives. And we contacted basically everyone. What's the worst that people can say? No. And it took off straight away. Yeah, it took off straight away. So even though on our personal channels, no one's getting rich off it. For this Quad Damage podcast thing here, it's been an absolute pleasure, because it took off so fast that all the people that we admired watching their content and the games that they created and stuff all basically agreed to do this straight away.
To kind of touch on that and connect to it, I kind of talked about it in a channel update I have coming out and stuff, and I've talked about it in the past, but if I went back in time and told my child self that I have multiple podcasts talking about video games, or that I have a channel where I make essays and do reviews, or the fact that I get video games for free to talk about, or like all these people that I've met doing this, whether through YouTube, game developers, or other people, the potential to talk to you, Trav, or G-Man, or any of these people, like it's cool. It's mind blowing. Like it's not. I mean, it's kind of surreal thinking about it.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then even if like what we're doing at Quad Damage isn't blowing up right now, or even if our individual channels are on different levels of success, it's still going the right direction. You're still meeting people. You're still getting to know people. You're still making connections. You're still spreading this love for something that we all equally appreciate and have a passion for. And I think that alone is pretty powerful, and that alone is how you can, bring all these people together. Some, more famous than others, some more successful than others. And that's cool. I mean, like, they all come together for the one thing that we all love. And it's like, fascinating.
It sounds cheesy as hell, but it's true. Like,
it really is.
You really do. It's just like, hey, we have this shared passion. You guys are in my opinion, a very fortunate spot where you're clearly doing this for the love of the game rather than for a paycheck. And that really helps. Which is something that I have been afraid of struggling with. It's never been a problem. I've never, like, I have like maybe 1 or 2 videos that I kind of phoned in because I'm just like, the sponsors do, I'm not feeling it, but I got to get this out. But, I've put out like maybe 50 videos now. 1 or 2 isn't bad, and I'm still on. As the way that I see it is, as long as I feel bad about the idea of phoning it in, that's a good sign.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I feel like this is a huge shift. I swear I took up my ADHD meds before this, and I can't even remember where I was going with this. It was like so this year I haven't really rolled out a lot of videos yet. I was like, 2024, it's going to be my year. I'm going to get my analytics back up. And so far it hasn't been that, but part of that is just because I've been like, what do I want to make? Like what is the content I want to keep doing? And part of that has just been like realizing I should probably just stick to talking about things that I want to talk about, because I fell deep into that, like I guess like trendy kind of, like not quite trend chasing, but it's like, oh, here's that bolt gun game. I'm looking through my videos because I can't even remember what I talked about. Here's that bolt gun shooter game that just came out. My audience probably will like that. I'll do a video on it. And then I did a genuine video on it, but it was like, it wasn't something I really wanted to do. I was doing it because I thought people would want to watch it. And so now that's kind of like, I just took a couple months to myself, more than a couple months, honestly, just like thinking, what is it that I want to do? What worked before? What didn't work before? And maybe it's just the scripted content. It's a lot of trial and error to figure out your style. But wow, this is a huge tangent. I'm sorry. But
no, that's what we're kind of all going. We're kind of all going in the same direction. But I mean, it's something. If you're making money off of it, you don't want to deviate too far from what you're known for because of the potential loss of a paycheck or whatever. But you also still want to stay passionate about it because you don't want to fully turn it into just a mindless job, because you could get that anywhere else. And
exactly.
And that's where it comes to the thing. If you're doing something you love, it'll never be work. You know what I mean? But your mind there's always going to be kind of like a moment where they're pushing against each other, both sides, of like passion and like, actually I have to live off this. So like, I can't just go off on a tangent and start talking about freaking, I don't know, like 3D platformers one day if I have an entire basis of like first person shooter fans, and then they're like, what the fuck is this shit? Like, you never talked about this in your entire life. And then it's like,
that's actually something that I kind of did a little bit. I wanted to sprinkle in these videos. My original
I
plan
actually
of how
watched
I handled this,
something of that nature from you at once.
It worked. No, so the way that I was handling it for a while is I'm gonna do 2 videos that I know will do well in the algorithm, and then 1 video that's completely separate, so that by the time the trend of the popular shit starts to break off, I have this as a fallback.
Yeah.
Didn't work out. No, I would not recommend that method unless it's for your own mental sanity. Like if it's like, no, I need to talk about something different, do that. But I was doing it to like hopefully have some kind of breakaway in case the trend.
I mean,
but then it turns out, I guess, doom is eternal. So I don't know.
I mean, personally, I'm see. Yeah, okay, it's okay. I can go ahead and say this because my channel update will be out before this podcast is out. I'm kind of starting to go in a new direction, hopefully fully starting by next month, where I'm going to only be releasing like 2 videos a month, hopefully. And it's just going to be like one video that's like what I've been recently doing, like a 15 to 20 minute long, like retrospective essay kind of thing. And then one more video that's part of my new series that I'm starting called So the Past. And first episode will probably be out in like the next 2 weeks. And I want to try to do that. And then that video is going to be more like the 6 to 10 minute long range. And I want to try to do those so that I'm not like running all over the place trying to, that's this idea and this idea, to keep it a little bit more structured. So, because I always come up with like a million ideas at once, and I'm trying to do all these things, and then I end up postponing this one or delaying this one or like throwing that one out. I mean, I can tell you right now, I've written, thought it over in my mind, jotted down, thought about a million times, recorded footage and threw away footage of Bulletstorm more times than I could count over the last 3 years about making a video on that game, and it just never comes together. Why? I don't know. But it's something that I think I could probably fit into the FPS of the past type thing. Yeah. But hopefully the first episode will be pretty cool.
I'm sure it'll be very successful for you.
It's going to be a double whammy, 2 games at once. It's probably going to be the only time that happens with a special guest.
Medium, do you think you'll ever make shorter videos, or are you just is your whole thing, your whole career going to be like hour-long videos? Because that's a lot of work, man.
You used to make shorter videos.
Yeah, I mean, I've kind of taken the approach that every game is kind of its own, like whatever it needs is what I kind of need to do to it. If it's in me and I need to talk about for 45 minutes and
that's how I approach it these days. Yeah.
Now I'll tell you, and I'll tell you on my like sheets, I'll be like, that'll be a 25 minute or easy tops.
Yeah.
And then I'll kind of just expound. And I'm like, I cannot believe that this little amount of information, this bare minimum information is 40 minutes and counting.
Yeah.
It's not intentional. I don't sit there and go, how can I hit the hour mark? Because I just know that'll send the algorithm into a feeding frenzy or something like that. It's just sort of how it turns out.
Mine have to top out at 2 minutes and 20 seconds. That's why I make trailer length videos, and that's purely because that's the limit. It's because of Twitter, yes.
Sorry, I didn't mean to ruin your the punchline there. I know why. Like,
yeah.
I've had to deal with that.
And it's all to do with like, you know how each platform, they want you to stay on their platform. So if you put a link on there to go off the platform, they'll suppress that post.
Yep.
So I have to post everything natively. So I do landscape versions of it, and then I do portrait versions of it. The landscape will go on YouTube and on Twitter, and the portrait goes on TikTok, Instagram, and Facebook. And
that's smart.
I would love to go back to what I used to do, which is 5 or 6 minute videos. But the view count, like just one retweet on Twitter can be the difference between me getting 150 views on that video on Twitter or me getting 5K, just because the right person, was covering it. But going back to what you guys were saying before, I would love to be able to do what you do in terms of one for me, one for them, in terms of like, sponsorship and algorithm. I can't. It's a media company. I have to do literally what is happening right now in the news. And I've got it down to a science where if a big game or a big story was to break now, I could have a full length 2.5 minute video out within about 4 hours of it, just to be able to kind of capture, because I've got the pre-templates made and all that sort of stuff. I think it develops a certain methodology in working where I don't have it in me to do the videos that you do that are like 45 minutes long or something. And Trav, I've mentioned, I don't know if it was me saying this via Twitter, but I've mentioned to you several times in the past that I think your Final Doom video was one of the best videos I've ever watched. I just think that the way that it's
I told that to my editor. I told my editor, I think this is going to be one of our best videos.
Yeah.
You're finally the first person to tell me that.
And there's something about...
Can I interject one more piece of praise real quick?
Yeah.
I'm really impressed that you're the one person who found 45 minutes to talk about for Wolfenstein 3D, because I made 15 minutes, a while ago, and I thought, man, I'm exhausted. And then you topped it off with literally the best title.
Level to level, because I never hear people talk about the levels themselves.
Yeah,
and I'm
like,
all right, I got to do this. And then now it's like, do I want to do that to Spear of Destiny? No, but maybe I will. We'll see.
That'll be rough.
Let's. I'm gonna get these. I completely forgot that we have. Community questions that we're starting now. So since we have
question time,
since we have 4 community questions, and then we're gonna have one final question for Trav before we wrap it all up. Let's just go ahead and start off with first question. I'll do one. Robert, you can do one, and then Medium can do one.
Let me bring it up.
So I'll start with question 1, which is from @clearasday with a K. And 2 E's, not an A. Out of all the games you've covered on your channel, I didn't read it until just now. Which protagonist do you think has the best ass?
Oh, of the games I've covered?
Yeah. I did not read that until I was saying it.
Oh boy.
Little stumper.
I don't want it to be Doom Guy by default.
There is the picture out there of him with his ass out.
Yeah. that Fabino picture. They're just like cheeked up.
This is random as hell, but I just
might have to be
make
the
a
answer.
promo for this episode.
I'd say the Cyber Demon's kind of packing.
Oh yeah, absolutely. But
yeah.
All right.
Yeah,
maybe
I just have to say Doom Guy by default. Just
Doom Guy's ass. Yeah, makes sense.
I don't have a lot of asses to choose from in this.
Yeah.
Cake is eternal.
Excellent. So
Cake
the
is
second
eternal.
one then. Yeah. The second question is from Pog_Martin. What projects for your channel were you proud of making?
Oh man. First one that comes to mind, I would have to say my System Shock video. I had so much fun making that. I was so happy with how it turned out. It's not my most successful video, but everyone, like all the comments on it are like, dude, this is a great piece. Thank you. I would never have fucking played this game. So probably that. Maybe a recent one, Final Doom. I was really happy with that one, the TNT video.
Yeah, those are pretty good. I like them.
Yeah, they were so well made and crafted as a piece of storytelling. I thought it was really good.
Thank you. Yeah, that one just kind of clicked. It got to the point where like I hit that flow and it's just like it feels like it's writing itself. Not AI. That's not what I meant. Just like I don't know what happened with that video. Maybe I could have lightning strike twice. Do it again.
Medium, you want to do?
All right, hit me with the next question. I'm ready.
Yeah,
Let's do it. All right. This is from Vlad. I'm not going to pretend to know how to say the rest of this, so it's IKHUK. And they're asking, are there any plans for any non-shooter game videos?
Oh, yeah. So what I'm working on right now, actually, the Metroid Zero Mission is my current project. Game Boy Advance Metroid 1 remake. I love Metroid a lot, but it also has some first-person shooters in it. There's a lot of overlap there. So, but like, I do want to talk about more Mega Man. That's kind of where my channel got its start. I adore Mega Man, and I always have a lot to say about it. It's just the first person.
Did you talk about a 3D platformer? You know, since I mentioned that earlier. Did you ever talk about one?
3D platform. I don't know if I did.
Metroid Dread, perhaps you could do.
If I did, I completely forgot. Yeah,
I don't know. I couldn't remember because I know I watched something that was a little bit out of the ordinary that was on your channel. I just can't remember what it is exactly that I'm thinking of. Maybe it was something at the beginning of your channel. Maybe it was one of the Mega Man videos or something like that.
Mighty Number 9. Yeah.
I haven't done a video on that yet, but
don't do a video on that.
Do want to. No, I don't do it.
Don't do it.
It's gonna be 4 hours long.
Yeah, I bought that. I actually bought the game on the Wii U when I first bought. I bought a Wii U
that's the worst version.
Yeah, I bought a Wii U from my friend for $50, like a year after I graduated high school, and I didn't have any games other than like what he had, which was just like Mario Party and Mario Kart. So I went and bought Shovel Knight, which is an absolute fucking banger, by the way.
Oh yeah, Shovel Knight.
And then I bought Mighty Number 9, and then I played Mighty Number 9, and I'm like, okay.
It's a bit shit. It's a bit shit.
It's kind of Mega Man, but then it's like, okay. And then as I go on, I'm like, yeah, this is pretty bad. Okay.
I have complicated thoughts about Mighty Number 9. But it's
there is a new Shovel Knight game coming out.
Oh yeah, I'm genuinely.
Yeah, I mean they have a bunch of spin-offs now, but the classic game and its like expansions are absolutely phenomenal.
Yeah.
That's probably it's up there as one of my favorite like 2D platformers of all time. It's really good. I think
so good.
It's very good.
Yeah.
Next question is from @melancholygeek, who's been on the channel and is a big fan and proud free sponsor of Quad Damage at all times.
He really does shield for us any chance he gets. I love him.
Lover of all things Quad Damage. He asks, what is your skincare routine?
Oh, well, not great right now. You could probably kind of see it. I actually do. I have not really a routine. It should be. I'm just terrible at sticking to it. I have no problem saying this. Maybe someone listening will be like, "Oh my gosh, I have that too," and I feel represented. It's either eczema or psoriasis or like the soft tissue on my face.
Shit!
Just gets, like,
I got eczema too.
Hey, nice.
It sucks.
No, that sucks. It's not nice, but you know, like I get like.
Well, it's rare to see a fellow eczema haver.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I used to grow out my mustache because I flare up the most right here. Like I would look like I fucked up with a razor just because it gets all red and scaly.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, dude. I get arms, legs, face, neck, everything. It's terrible.
But I have this ointment that's supposed to help with it. I'm supposed to use it every day, and I keep fucking forgetting.
Yeah, I used to have some, and now I can't afford to go to the dermatologist. So.
Oh my god, yeah. I haven't been properly diagnosed by a dermatologist. It's just my doctor is like, yeah, you have one of these two.
Well, hey, hydrocortisone cream works pretty well.
Yes, that works pretty well at reducing the redness.
Yeah.
I've been using azelaic acid to get rid of it, which has been working.
I haven't tried that one. I try to stick to like some all natural derived like shampoo, conditioner, body soap, body wash, all that kind of stuff, because
smart.
anything that has fragrance in it is a like almost instant flare up. Yeah. And another crazy thing is that like sunlight, just enough is very helpful, and too much is worse. Like it's such a weird thing.
Dude, my family is my I don't know the word ethnicity. My dad's side is from Mexico. I don't look it because I'm pale as shit.
Yeah, me too.
I don't go outside. But you know, I need sunlight. I guess that's cool.
Well, at least to know that I got a brother in the eczema.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
All right, so to wrap it up,
Scaly arms.
We got one final question, and I'm gonna bring it over to Medium to ask that one and wrap it all up.
What if I told you I don't have that question on my sheet, which is a common sheet that we should both have? So I'm not sure.
We only had 4 questions written.
Now I'm curious.
Does he have an extra question? Did he smuggle a question in?
Did
No, it is. It's a number 6.
What?
It's not where it should be in the script.
that sounds about right?
So where they have the
right,
questions, person, blah blah blah, like at the very bottom, it should be after question time, but it's not because question time got put in between.
When we do the podcast,
we
open up by asking.
Here, but
we open up by asking, the guest, how did you get into doing what you're doing? And we completely bypassed that for this episode and just went straight into it.
Okay, damn good conversation. This has been a really good
and this is the closing question.
Yeah. So that number 6.
Yeah, and you kind of touched on this already, but what would you say, since you've kind of had some time to think about it, would be, as much as you can or want to reveal, your plans for the rest of the year? Where you think you're taking the channel?
Oh boy. Well, assuming I can stick to it, which I'm terrible at. I really need to underhand throw underball lowball. What the fuck is the term? I really gotta underball my expectations. Yeah, give it a little
underball.
Little condolet. There you go. So my plan is I want to. So I'm gonna do. Okay, so let me back up a bit first. I'm going to a convention later this month in Philadelphia, the Too Many Games Expo. Before I leave for that, which is in a little over a week, I'm going to try to get this video out for Metroid Zero Mission. I'm going to do a couple more Metroid videos, probably up through Metroid Prime 2. And then after that, I'm not entirely sure what I want to focus on. I want to focus on something. Doom getting a resurgence makes me think maybe I should just go back to Doom. I know people want me to redo my Doom 3 video because it was not a good video. I want to give it a proper shot. I was not fair to the game. And I still
Doom
feel a lot of the same way.
Video.
Yeah, there you go. So I want to focus on something. I don't know what. I know, like, if Metroid Prime 4 ends up getting announced this month, which I hope it does, I don't think it will. Maybe I'll keep doing Metroid. Just wrap up the series, just shotgun all of it. But as it stands, I mean, I touched on it before. I want to try to just focus on stuff I want to do. I'm kind of just done guessing what my audience will and won't watch, and maybe maybe I came to that point because I've done so many videos bouncing all over the place that maybe I just have a better idea of what people want to see. But I'm kind of done with that experimenting. I just want to talk about the things I want to talk about. So I'm gonna stick to some of the heavier hitters on my channels, be it Metroid, Doom, Mega Man.
If I can get you to, we can collab on Metroid Prime remastered video that I was like possibly gonna make one a little while back, and then I didn't because I didn't finish the game, but I still got to finish the game. Absolutely love it. I never played the original. Nope, never played it. I started with remastered.
So this is your first time.
Damn good experience
playing it.
Yeah.
Wow.
The original is in like 1980s Metroid original.
No, Metroid Prime original.
The first Metroid Prime. It came out in like 2000.
I have actually played the original Metroid. Not actually that big of a fan.
Never played a single
Metroid
one.
It's not great.
But yeah, Metroid Prime Remastered, very good. It's funny because I actually a big fan of Journey to the Savage Planet, which is kind of inspired by Metroid Prime in a lot of ways. Don't know if you've played that or not.
I've heard of it. I
played
know it was related.
Yeah, definitely check it out. It's a more humorous, goofy romp on that, but it is very much so a Metroid Prime type of game. I talked to one of the leads of that team that made that, and they cite Metroid Prime a lot.
Gonna throw that on my wish list. I'll pick it up on sale.
It's a good one. Yeah,
cool.
Yeah, I really like Metroid Prime.
That's
pretty good.
That's cool to hear because I think I played the original Metroid Prime when I was pretty young. Grew up thinking this is one of the coolest games I've ever played, and then I grew up more, and I'm like, okay, that's clearly nostalgia. Go back to it. No, this is one of the coolest games I've ever played, and so it's been really cool seeing new people get into the series and being like,
kind of
wait,
mind blowing. The game is more than a remaster.
Oh yeah. But
like,
at the same time, it's like a carbon copy of the original game. Just
it's kind of like
this weird balance.
I don't know. I would almost compare it to System Shock in a way. Like System Shock kind of reimagined a few things more than Metroid Prime Remastered did, but like Metroid Prime Remastered has a lot of like overhauls for like visuals and effects and things that are like
visuals is the biggest thing.
It's almost remake level of quality, but it's being called a remaster, but what I usually look at as a remaster is like, okay, it's now 1080p, 60 FPS, and it's on the new consoles. Like that's it. Like Darksiders,
they put a lot of work,
put on modern consoles. Yeah.
So like, but like if you got the hang, if you got the hang of the controls, because there's an option to play it with the original GameCube controls. I don't recommend it. But if you were to play that and then go back and play the original version, it is 1-to-1, like literally the same game, just with way better graphical fidelity. And it's like, it's amazing that they could do that on the Switch.
Yeah. It's always funny because like people talk about like so much crap about the Switch, but like any video game that is made by Nintendo or a studio connected to Nintendo on some kind of like property under them is always pushing their own tech to the absolute limit at all times. I mean, go look at Splatoon 2 or 3.
Tears of the Kingdom is black magic to me. I don't know how the...
Yeah, I mean, you can look at this, like the 2 and 3 Splatoon, or Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom. I mean, Metroid Prime Remaster. I mean, a lot of their games, you're just like, well, how did they do this? Yeah. I mean, even...
they got Doom Eternal on there.
Yeah.
It's basically a glorified mobile chip.
Yeah.
Like... it's 30 FPS, but it's mostly stable. 30 FPS.
Yeah.
And even like Super Mario Odyssey is like pretty impressive that is on there. Or, I mean, there's so many games that are like, holy shit, this is cool, this is awesome. You know what I mean? But anytime it's like an outside developer or any kind of third party thing that's like porting something over or bringing something over, or it's not the main console, it's always worse because it's not made specifically for this system.
Yeah.
Exclusives,
that architecture,
it's just like, PlayStation making Ratchet and Clank specifically for PS5 and all the tech and specs for the PS5. If they were going to make it for the PS5, the Xbox, and the PC, it would have been like a different game. You know what I mean? Like the way the tech was used and so on wouldn't be specified to the PS5.
Yeah, agreed. Medium.
What's up, you sexy motherfucker?
Close it out.
Nothing, man. I'm just sat here being sexy. I don't know if you guys want to continue or if you guys want to wrap it up, but Medium's going to do the outro today.
Yeah, I did have one quick question. Hopefully, I'm not telling you a quick question and pretending like you're going to have to make a short answer. Just as someone who's kind of doing a little bit of not so much soul searching, but trying to figure out what the right format is, like what's your style. I don't know if you've ever noticed this in your own work, Trav, but what would you say is like the approach that you found works best for a video? Because like some people can just do a real generic, they just want to do plot, they want to talk about gameplay elements and just sort of line them up in the appropriate order, or they want to have an angle, like their little thesis statement from school they always have, in your English assignments, or is there something? Just keep hitting that.
Actually, I mean, see, how do I start this? I found it's something similar to what Civi does. I've discovered it before I found Civi's content. I'm gonna die on that hill. Some people, mostly comment sections, don't trust the comments, but also the comment section will never let me just be like, yeah, I came up with this independently of Civi. But my point is, the way that I started just doing it is like, I'm mostly structured with, all right, I'm gonna talk about the development of the game, gonna lead that into my personal history with the game if I have anything with it. Like, oh, here's my history. Like, I got Metroid Fusion in my Easter basket 1 year. And then when I start the game properly, I am basically taking my notes that I write. And I write some pretty in-depth notes with time codes and all that. Like, I'll literally be like, all right, say Doom Eternal. Like, at this time code, finished a big arena, just got the heavy cannon or whatever the secondary weapon or second rifle, whatever. Like, all right, got that. And then at some point in writing it, I have a pretty detailed what's it called? Like mind's eye.
Yeah.
Because you know, some
Vision?
people they can't see the apple in their mind. Like when you tell them imagine an apple, they're like, "Do you mean metaphorically?" Like, no, some people just can't do it. So I've had to explain that to some people. But like with me, I can rotate that apple 4K any direction, stretch it, skew it. Now it's the Wampa fruit from Crash Bandicoot. Like I just my brain goes in all these different directions. It's ADHD. Let's be fair.
Yeah.
But like because of that, I'll just like go on these random tangents of like, oh wow, the gun's spinning, it's green. And then I'm like, okay, green. What else is green in this game? Armor's kind of green. And then it just like goes into these tangents combined with tangents, and I'll just be writing all this down, completely unstructured as far as like I'm not like following a guide. It's just like how my brain works. And then I look through it. It's mostly bullet points with how I write it in my notes. And then I'm just looking through it and like, okay, I'm gonna start like, what if I'm like trying to use these notes as talking points and like doing a paragraph? I literally just turn this bunch of notes into a paragraph, write it naturally, try to let it flow, maybe make some bookmarks of like, okay, this doesn't flow right, try to come back to this later. And then halfway through writing something completely unrelated, that part clicks for me. I go back. And so it's really just the unfortunate thing, you know, it's not going to work for everyone, but my structure is unfiltered ADHD, I guess.
Oh, well, it'd be interesting to see what Civi says in regards to that, because he's going to come on the show soon, and I wonder if he'll say, "Oh, so it's my ADHD." I understand what Medium was saying, because when you watch one of your videos, it's not a walkthrough of the game. It's not a review. Where? Yeah, he has a cat. Occasionally,
Right,
you'll see his cat, or you'll see
like,
my dog.
very soon.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, okay, we'll wrap it up. I was just going to say, you don't do reviews, you don't do like walkthroughs, but it's kind of you're talking through your thoughts as you progress through the game itself, from beginning to the end. Cool.
I heard someone describe Civi's video this way. I'll leave it at this. I heard someone describe Civi's video this way, and I'm like, wait, that's what I do. And they described it as heavily edited Let's Plays. And I'm like, you know what?
Yeah, that's pretty accurate.
I kind of like that.
I know Indie Mouse does that too. I like that style, actually. It just makes it very spoilerific if you're trying to play it later yourself. I'm like, damn it. Yeah, I've had to hold off on a lot of Civi videos. I'm like, this looks great. See ya. Come back later.
Cool.
Well, I think those are all my thoughts.
Yeah.
Right
Excellent.
on. Thank you.
Medium, do you want to see us out? Why is my...
Yeah, if I can get my cat to stop barraging my guitar stand over here.
Eyes are sweating. Oh, I shaved before we came here today, and I've got one piece of hair stuck right under my eyelid there this whole time.
Yeah, you're not supposed to use a razor on your eyelashes, dude.
No, it literally went up in there. I was like, what the hell?
Yeah, no, unconventional wisdom here.
Yeah. Cool.
Cool. All right, well, thanks everybody for joining us, and thank you so much, TravGuy, for being our guest of honor today. Much appreciated.
I would
thanks for
be
being
more
on
than happy to come back someday.
Yeah, love to have you.
Want that.
You know what?
Yeah. He says,
Just
yes,
bring-
we would want that.
Just have me, Mayo, and Civi all in one piece. It'll be chaos.
Fuck
It'll be
yeah.
terrible, unlistenable, practically. But I think it would be good.
Yeah.
We'll do it as
friends of mine,
a
I'm not just
special
saying that.
spin-off episode. We'll give it a different name and everything, and it'll just be you three talking, and we'll just sit there and watch.
There you
Make
go.
it like a Doctor Who Christmas special. There's just like too much going on all the whole time.
Yeah.
Just like callbacks constantly. It's like,
But yeah, thanks for having me. This was a lot of fun. I'll be sure to
Been a
give
pleasure.
this as much promotion as I can on my socials.
yeah.
Oh,
And
we'd
on that
appreciate
note,
it.
Hope
let's
this
trot them out.
Yeah.
So you can find us, of course, Squad Damage on YouTube. Kind of spread between all three of our channels. So depending on who uploads the fastest, you can find some version of it on all three of Deadforge, High Functioning Medium, and HyperVerse's channels. You can find me at High Functioning Medium at YouTube, High Funk Medium on the Twatter. Deadforge, where can we find you?
Of course, you can find me at Deadforge on YouTube. You can find me at the Lord of the RPG on Twitter, and you can back Deadforge on Patreon, and I think that's it.
Cool.
HyperVerse.
Yeah, you can find me. Well, you can find HyperVerse, not me, on YouTube, on TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and you can find us at HyperVerse Gaming. If for any reason you want to converse with me, I really just use Twitter, RobertYap80.
Did you get that
'cause I was
Snapchat
born
yet?
in 1980. I ain't got no goddamn Snapchat. Stop bringing it up, goddammit. Jesus, man.
I gotta bring it up
I'm
every
not
time.
14.
Ever since you mentioned it that one time, you said, I don't have a Snapchat. Yeah, I got everything
Yeah.
except for Snapchat, so I gotta ask every time just in case it changes.
I'm
Gauntlet.
One day you'll have one just for the hell of it.
one day. Yeah.
You're just missing that audience, man.
Yeah, and that's
Went
where
right
you
past
can
you.
find HyperVerse and me.
And Trav, where can we find you on the World Wide Web?
Oh boy, I have so many names for things. All right. So first off, we'll start easy. YouTube.com/@ThatTravGuy, because we're doing ats now. I love
Yeah.
it so much. But then on Twitter, ThatTravGuy was taken. So I'm at the other TravGuy.
Ah,
Cool. Always great. I love Twitter so much. It's such a great platform. No. Patreon, I actually think Patreon is just /ThatTravGuy. That's boring. And then what else do I use? Hold on. Oh yeah, Twitch. Right, that's the last one. I'm going back to Twitch. You can find me at twitch.tv/TravGuyTV, because I hate consistency.
Hey, keep them guessing.
Excellent.
like Chaos Reign.
All
All right.
No, it's
So-
just the Trav Guy is such a common name. It's just taken in everything. All right, I'll let you play us out.
So
Thanks everybody for joining us, and
Thank you.
until next time,
If you
let's
into the
keep
video,
keep
booming.
on.
But let's
Or
keep,
keep on
booming.
booming.
Keep
Whatever
on
the hell it
You
is.
know it.
I'm gonna boom.
Keep
so
on
bad.
booming.
Oh baby, oh I'm booming.